Yeah, man. Like, here's the thing. Are there certain ways of the old ways that I would wish we could go back to, as far as being like hunter gatherers and maybe just a little bit more in tune and in one with nature? Absolutely. Like, I don't think there would be any problem like hunting caribou in a more traditional way. I do believe in agriculture needing to take a few steps back or evolving in a much better direction. But that ties in to everything. We're supposed to evolve. This you're like you said, it's 2026, 2025, 2026, and we're still following certain things that our ancestors did instead of doing that ancestral work. People aren't doing the actual ancestor work. They're not healing the past. They're not evolving, moving forward. They are sorry, I was gonna say something awful. Hold on. Okay, not every ancestor is someone that you need to memorialize and honor and put on a pedestal in this way. But that doesn't mean you can't have a relationship to them. You have a relationship with your ancestors. Maybe they did something not so cool. Maybe they were a really negative historical figure in the past. You can still love them and have a relationship with them. It would be very similar to loving and having a relationship with someone who went to jail for a crime. It's a really difficult path. There's a lot of emotions that come from it. But that's part of healing. So if your ancestors did something that is morally gray or not the norm of this modern world, something archaic, something that you're feeling in your gut, your heart, somewhere, there's a reason why we need this shift. Animal sacrifice would be one of them. Same with human sacrifice. Human sacrifice was slaves or stolen tribesmen, or like there was so many different ways that human sacrifice was done. And we don't do that now, but it's still okay for us to do those things to animals. I don't agree with that. Do I believe in human sacrifice? Yeah, but I think that it should be super consensual and like with all the knowledge in the world, because I do believe that there are people who will and do sacrifice themselves in so many different ways. I just think it needs to be educated in how it's channeled. Again, evolved. And a lot of evolution comes from gnosis and knowledge, right? So maybe archaic humans had a different understanding of sacrificing, whether it was humans or animals. And now we have a much better understanding because the communication was clear. We've evolved. So it's like, yeah, maybe at like this lower level of evolution, we had this more smash it with a hammer kind of perspective, where now it's how can we still get the blood that we need without causing harm, because you wouldn't want it done to you. Like, that's the thing that humans need to understand. Like, it's not just a cause and effect. It's not just because we're in the land of mirrors. It's not karma. It's not the law of three. It's just like, think about it. Would you want that done to you? If you were an animal, we are, okay? Would we want aliens to treat us the way that we treat mice for fucking spell work? Because like ultimately we would be a huge sacrifice for aliens. Fucking duh. If a mouse can do that much for war water, imagine what a human being would do. And that's where you get into conspiracies, right? That's where we have like Pizzagate and all this other fucking crazy stuff. It's all insanity. But it makes sense where that theory comes from, because look at what we're willing to do on a small scale. And my whole point is it's not small. Whether it's an insect or a germ, life is life. And that doesn't mean you can't fucking Clorox your counters and kill some germs. It's just be more intentional about it. Use better products. Like, align yourself with nature and understand you're a living being, just like the mouse, just like the bird, just like the spider, just like anything. You're a living being. And so just move more intentionally, more delicately through life. That's all I've ever fucking said. And you don't have to torture things for your needs. Because again, that's such a weak mentality. Like, oh, I needed the mouse for power. I need to invoke these brutal occult rituals for power. That is an illusion. That is spiritual psychosis, which I fucking hate, because everyone thinks that I'm lost in spiritual psychosis. Like, they've never fucking read any fucking thing. All of these, by the way, these are all Left-Hand Path Black Magic books. Okay? I'm going to go through them. I'm going to go through the ones that talk about animal sacrifice, and I'm going to just do a fucking reel of every single one of them that tells you the animal must be ethically sourced or dealt with. It fucking goes into it. And anyway, I just get really angry about this stuff. I get really passionate about it because it's not that hard to learn. In this modern age, if you want to be ignorant, if you want to be malicious, it's purely intentional at this point. You want to be brutal. You want people to be afraid of you. I don't care if you're afraid of me. You should be, but I don't care if you're afraid of me. Like, I'm not going to have to torture an animal to make you be afraid of me. I'm not going to have to be this brutal serial killer for you to be afraid of me. I don't have to violently attack you in a physical way for me to get what I want. I don't even have to attack you psychologically, you know? There's so much that you can do through an act of self-worship, self-love, or just love, because love for the self is ultimately love for life, and love for life is love for the world, because we're all in a living material world. So to not beat this with a dead horse, like, not to, whatever, I don't fucking know my expressions. I'm like all like amped up on caffeine and adrenaline, because we knew this was coming. We talked about needing to hash it out. So here we are, Legba, and all of my infernals of the social media world. We're hashing it out. I was never fucking wrong. I don't deserve the reputation and the treatment that I fucking have. I am incredibly intelligent, and more people need to listen to me. Right? Like, I don't have a bad message. I have a really powerful message, and the fact that the masses just can't hear it or don't want to hear it because maybe I fumbled in how I reached people. I know people don't want to be offended. If you want a powerful message, you're not supposed to offend people. Like, I learned that lesson, but at the same time, people need to be offended, because like I could tell you all day long that like a mouse is a cute little critter that deserves to live. I could tell you all day long that a spider deserves to live. And until you shift your own relationship to life in your own psyche, not only your life for yourself, but life for others, that's the problem. Like, I'm a hyper individualist for sure. I'm not denying that in my politics, in my philosophies. Like, I firmly believe in the individual. But it's through loving the individual, which then transmutes and projects love into humanity. That's the philosophy, that's the theory, that if you love yourself so much, that there's no way that you can put hate out into the world. I purely believe it's because people hate themselves. I purely believe it's because the shadows repress. I purely believe that the reason that the world is as fucked up as it is because of all the hate in people's hearts, and one way, shape, or form or another. Not just their heart, but their psyche, their throats, their fucking root chakra, all of it. There's so much hate that has been implanted in humanity because of the power that we would have if we loved ourselves and we loved one another to make this place a really cool world. Earth, Gaia, she could be fucking badass, man. This could be the coolest place in the world, but we're too busy with greed and power and control because we realize that we're weak and vulnerable and the world is scary. It's terrifying being alive. It's terrifying being a human being, but I think if we were better, the world would be better. And instead, like, everything in the world just mirrors actions of fear, not actions of bravery or love. And I also believe that's why my journey is quite the uphill battle, because I am not perfect, but I'm even in my imperfections, even in my offensive language, I am trying to make decisions and speak from a place of love. And telling someone that they're no better than a slave owner, as offensive as that is from a place of love, because, like, wake up. Don't repeat it. Don't repeat a pattern. Don't become the monster that you're trying to fight. Like, heal that within your ancestry. Break the cycle for everybody, regardless of your color, regardless of your race. Like, quit focusing on the culture, on the race, and all these superficial things, and just start loving life in the different ways that we can express it. Whether it's through a Mexican culture or a black culture or a white culture, there's culture in everyone. People say white people don't have culture. Irish is a culture, all right? I don't think Italians are white, but whatever. Italian's a culture. I'm gonna get in trouble for that. Whatever. Like, there's so many different cultures. Can we just learn to love the cultures and tap into it and experience it and welcome it with an open heart and open mind? Like, I don't see why that's so hard, and it all stops from actions out of fear and torture and hate and all of these things. Treat everything as intentionally and delicately as the life that you really want to live, and you'll manifest miracles. I fucking swear to God.